Season 2 of Small Town Spotlight, sponsored by Charlie Clark Auto Group.
KTSM 9 News at 6 is live on location today as we continue with our Small Town Spotlight series, and we're coming to you live from the Abraham Chavez Theatre in downtown El Paso, all made possible by Charlie Clark Nissan. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9 News at 6, Small Town Spotlight. I'm Monica Cortez.
I'm Andy Morgan. Of course, the historic Abraham Chavez Theatre. What an iconic venue, not only here in El Paso, but the entire state of Texas. And of course, named after the maestro, Abraham Chavez, and opened in the 1970s, so a lot of rich history here. And I'll tell you this, he was the longtime conductor of the El Paso Symphony. A lot of great performances when you think back in acts, events, and now Small Town Spotlight, we get our turn to be on stage here.
I know, I'm so excited. And did you guys get to hear that music at the beginning of the show? It's live. We actually have a group of musicians who are going to be playing live for us throughout the entire show. How neat is that?
We're lucky.
Very lucky.
We got a lot to get to here tonight, but let's give you a little bit of a rundown in terms of what we're going to be covering here tonight. So this edition of Small Town Spotlight, we're going to be taking a look at the very talented orchestra here. We're also going to be speaking with the president for the trustee board of the directors of the El Paso Symphony Orchestra fundraising. We're also going to be taking a look back at the closer look, that is, of the youth symphony, which is a very important aspect of the symphony. We're going to get into a lot of that. So a lot to get to tonight. Should be a really fun show, and a lot of great things happening here at the Abraham Chavez Theatre. We do want to welcome in the third part of our Small Town Spotlight team, though.
The fun part, I feel.
Yeah, right?
And that is Chief Meteorologist Robert Perez. Robert, what are you up to today?
Monica and Andy, as you can see, I've upgraded my footwear, and if you've been watching this afternoon, you know that I'm live at the world-famous Rocket Buster Boots right here next to the depot, right downtown next to Union Plaza Park. You may be wondering, are these boots behind me for Bobby Bone? They're certainly big enough for him. Unfortunately, Bobby will not be here this evening. However, it is thanks to the Charlie Clark Automotive Group that we have these Small Town Spotlights. There. Okay, now, we are with the owner, and she's been sharing with me the history of this fantastic place that makes custom boots for world-famous celebrities, people all over the world, Navina Christie. Navina, real quick, your husband is up there, and how did you acquire this boot company?
Well, Marty traded it in a bar one night, a '53 Cadillac for a boot company, and it just happened to be called Rocket Buster, and he collected cowboy boots and outer space. So
who is that fantastic gentleman that was just standing next to him?
That's Roy Rogers, who was one of his first customers.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we're going to take you on a little tour of the famous people for whom she's made custom boots, and more about Rocket Buster. First, let's talk weather. 97, your high temperature for tomorrow. Unfortunately, the winds get a little stronger. We're in for a windy weekend and then extreme heat in the 9-day forecast. I'll have that for you coming up in just a little bit. Andy, Monica?
Robert, thank you very much. Certainly looking forward to that. And now we want to talk about Ornedo's award-winning Philharmonic Orchestra. You know, this group has been lining up and stacking up awards for quite some time now.
Yeah, and they've actually earned a list of awards for their middle school, and just this year. And what's so interesting about them is that they're about to hit high school. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
So talented, so many awards, just middle schoolers. Check it out.
This program has had an established excellence for 30 years since it started. Well, how long have I been a part of it is a different question than how long have I been teaching, because I was a student in this program many, many years ago. So I started in sixth grade orchestra here at Ornedo, and I came back about, 20 years later, and now I'm a teacher here. The Philharmonic Orchestra is a very special group of students because they practice at 6:30 in the morning before school starts. The Philharmonic Orchestra has earned awards from UYL, their orchestra contest, and they have also won awards from the Hanks Jazz Festival. me as a student, being in an orchestra was part of my identity. It was where I found my family at school. It was where I found my friends. It's where I found the stress relieving components of school.
A family, you know, like you have to hear each other, you have to like listen to each other. If you don't like each other, then you're not going to play in sync together.
You have to be able to bond with everybody around you.
Planning for this combined concert with Simply 3 started this time a year ago. Simply 3 came to perform in El Paso, and they said they do collaborations with schools. And I said, well, can we do one with you? And they said yes.
It was a fun experience. I mean, it was big. I've never seen so many people in the crowd.
Having a mentor is so important so that you can be inspired. And when you go home after working at school or working at your job, you need a little bit of inspiration after a long day to take out your instrument and practice.
1, 2, ready, and.
My mentor and former teacher is Miss Isaac, and now we work together. Now we're co-teachers, and so that's been really special for me. I hope the kids can find a mentor, and one day they might be a professional musician. I might be playing on stage with them in the symphony. You never know.
Wow, what a talented group of young students. That is so incredible.
Their dedication and teamwork is absolutely commendable. You know, I heard the analogy used a lot, and obviously it encompasses a symphony, orchestra, one out-of-tune instrument or someone maybe a little bit off, and it makes the whole thing sound off. So the teamwork that they have to have
is
in order for it to
impeccable.
sound the way that it just sounded.
I know.
Absolutely commendable what those young kids are doing, and all the awards that they've been stacking up.
This
Really
year,
incredible.
I know, so exciting to see. Maybe Mozart's are
Yeah.
coming our way. And you know what, we still have a lot more to share with you about this incredible place we're at. But first, let's go ahead and send it to the studio.
Yeah, Oriana Botero is standing by with our headlines of the day. Hey there, Oriana.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Monica. Well, the bulk of a large fire at a recycling plant in south central El Paso has been knocked out. Fire crews are now preparing to return to the station 24 hours after the fire started. The fire was at a recycling plant at Paisano and Coles. This is new video showing the aftermath of what fire officials call one of the city's largest. According to the El Paso Fire Department, the fire was originally reported as a condition 3, meaning that lots of flames and smoke were visible. However, it was later upgraded to a 3-alarm fire, meaning it was more serious than previously thought, and more firefighters were needed at the scene. We spoke to the fire department's public information officer, Enrique Dueñas, earlier today, who tells us this is one of the largest fires in terms of response by fire crews.
Yes, it has been one of the biggest. We had almost 200 firefighters. We had 43 units. We're on the 21st hour of the incident. So yeah, 21 hours, 200 firefighters. It's one of the biggest ones we've ever had.
Our KTSM 9 News reporter Jesus Baltazar has been following this story. He spoke with neighbors in the area, and he will have more of their reactions coming up in your 10 o'clock newscast. And El Paso police are still searching for the driver who ran over and left a woman for dead in the Upper Valley. It happened last night on Donovan Drive at Borderland Road. Police say when they arrived, they found the woman on the ground. So far, she's being identified as a woman in her 50s. Investigators believe she was trying to cross the intersection with a do not walk sign when she was hit by an unknown vehicle. The woman died at the scene. Police believe there are witnesses who were at the Circle K at the same intersection. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. Well, that was a look at your top stories for today. Let's go ahead and send things over to Andy Morgan and Monica Cortez, who are live at the Abraham Chavez Theatre in downtown El Paso for our Small Town Spotlight series. Hey there, guys.
Hey, Oriana, thank you so much. And you know what? We are seeing El Paso Symphony Orchestra. I hope that you've heard of them. They're a nonprofit organization that has provided a wide range of performances in our community. I definitely love them.
And it doesn't stop there. They also provide educational programs, but in order to do what they do, they need help, whether it be in the form of volunteers, whether it be in the form of donations. And we actually got to speak with a board member who tells us how you there at home can help out.
As a symphony board member, we're constantly trying to, find new programs, new ways to fundraise, but we also work on our educational programs and programming that will get the interest of people and draw them into our, into our performances. We have a couple of big fundraisers each year, our gala and March Madness, which is a golf tournament, and then you go to dinner and watch the game. But we also started with like pop concerts. We had Led Zeppelin, we've had ABBA, we've had Queen, we've had the Beatles, tribute bands. And so that's a lot of fun for people that normally don't go to the symphony. It shows them another side of the symphony. Well, it's so important to the community. The symphony is kind of the cornerstone of the El Paso arts community. But not only do we have our educational programs, but about 80% of our musicians are from El Paso. So all of those dollars that are spent on the symphony and a performance stay in El Paso. Financially, we can always use donors and help, or attend our fundraisers, or attend a pop concert. We welcome volunteers with open arms, and we have room for anyone that wants to help with the El Paso Symphony. Because when people come to El Paso and they want to know what we offer, we can say, yes, we have a wonderful symphony, a high-level symphony. And I know when my husband and I moved here, that's something that was important to us, is do you all have a symphony?
And here she is, Debbie Hand, joining us now, the past president for the El Paso Symphony Orchestra. Thank you so much for being here. We got to see a little bit the fundraising efforts here, and appreciate you joining us here at the Abraham Chavez Theatre.
Glad to be here.
And you know what, Ms. Debbie, you did briefly mention about fundraising, but you do have some really cool fundraisers coming up. Talk about them.
Well, the first one that's coming up is our gala, which will be in September, the first part of September, and it'll be at the Country Club, El Paso Country Club, and we have a silent auction. We have a lot of dancing, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's a great night to come out and be part of the symphony and to help us raise funds for the symphony. And then in October, we're going to have the movie Harry Potter, where the orchestra actually plays the script, the music that accompanies the film, and you watch the film at the Plaza Theater. So that's very cool. And then in April, we have March Madness, and it's the final game, and we have a golf tournament during the day, and then dinner, and you watch the game at night. And it also has a silent auction, just lots of fun. It's just a fun, casual, good evening. And then we usually during the year will have some kind of pop concert. Last year it was Queen. We've had Led Zeppelin. We've had ABBA.
Wow.
So we usually will have one of those, and that hasn't been announced yet. But we're looking into some different ideas.
You have me circling the Harry Potter.
I know, me too.
There in October, and that's something that you said you did before with the first movie.
Right.
And was a huge success. Now doing the second movie.
We're doing the second movie. We did Coco the first year, Harry Potter. Last year was Star Wars, and this year it'll be the second Harry Potter movie.
Oh my gosh,
So,
I love Harry Potter.
And it's fun because you're actually watching the real movie, but the symphony's playing all the music. So it's hard to believe that symphonic music plays such a part, in all of those movies.
Especially that production in particular.
Yeah. But you guys need to go. It's really fun. It's a fun evening for families, for date night, whatever you want it to be.
Oh my gosh, such talented
I'm in.
people. Yeah, me too.
Good. Okay. We love it.
Debbie, thank you so much
You're
for being
welcome.
here once again, and
Happy
looking
to.
forward to some of these seasons starting in September.
September, right. So we hope we'll see a lot of people there.
Thank you so much,
You're
Debbie.
welcome.
And thank you guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Okay.
Robert Bettis, the Borderlands' only certified broadcast meteorologist.
Yet another example of the quality of handcrafted, custom-designed rocket buster boots. Now you say, oh, there's nothing to do in El Paso. Oh, whatever. Actually, people fly in from all over the world to see these boots. And yes, it's been in business 34 years. Are they a little expensive? Well, you know what? You get what you pay for. Ranges anywhere from $1,500 to 15,000, depending on the celebrity. And joining me now is the owner, the creator, who does every single boot herself, Navina Christie. Nice to see you, Navina.
Nice to see you.
Okay, what earned you super mom status?
Well, my son came home one day. He said, "Mom, anything exciting happen?" And I said, "Yes, we're doing 4 pairs of boots for Kendrick Lamar." So that gave me cool mom status.
Okay.
And he was like, "No," and I said, "Yes."
And you have a file on every single person.
Yeah.
And by the way, she custom fits these people's foot, and you draw it out, whatever they want. So here's Kendrick Lamar, literally, if you don't know, probably the most famous rapper in the world. Hip-hop star in the world right now.
Yeah.
And that's what, you've got Willie Nelson here.
Yeah.
You've had Julia Roberts. Okay, we're going to take a little tour of the wall of famous celebrity boots coming up. Let's talk weather. I was actually booed in the newsroom today. Is that wrong? They booed me.
I don't know what you say.
Well, I gave them a weather briefing, and here comes your 9-day forecast. Tomorrow, not too bad. The winds, of course, you love those winds. I'm sorry, Navina. I can't do anything about it.
This is me.
Yeah.
Trying not to boo you.
Yes, okay, thank you. Well, that would be twice today then. 99 on Friday, 100 on Saturday, and unfortunately, windy. Windy again on Sunday, unfortunately, and then high pressure settles in, and look what happens to the temperatures. Tuesday, 100. By Wednesday, 105. By Thursday, 106. And by Friday, 104. Partly cloudy skies with a chance of isolated storms Thursday and Friday.
We just cleaned our backyard.
You just cleaned
Thank you very much.
So the winds are really the factor here.
Yeah.
Okay, so of all these famous people that you have right here on your wall of celebrities, and I'll let you see some of these. Ethan Hawke, we have, looks like Sheryl Crow right there. Whoopi Goldberg is up there. So what's it like crafting boots for celebrities like these?
It's always a challenge, but when you pull it off and they're as happy as your regular customers, just makes you feel good.
It makes you feel good. Now, people fly in from all over the world to see you and get these boots. What's your favorite that you've ever done, if you have a favorite?
Well, one of my favorites was when I got called from Huntsman, the Royal Tailors.
What?
Huntsman.
Huntsman?
Have you seen the movie Kingsman?
Really?
That was filmed in Huntsman since 1847.
And they called you?
And they called me.
And who did they want a boot for?
They wanted me to make a boot for an exclusive Huntsman auction at Sotheby's. And they sent me a piece of cashmere. And I had to make...
The rest is history.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, Navina.
You never know who's going to call.
You never know who's going to call it. Rocket Buster Boots. Okay, you stay with KTSM 9 News. More coming up. I'll show you the difference between a regular boot and her boots. Just a bit.
KTSM 9 Sports with Kelly Horson. Sponsored by Glasheen Vyas and Enderman Injury Lawyers.
Last year, the question surrounding Stephen Milam was he bound for the Bayou or the Bigs? During his time as Sentinel High School, Milam was an LSU signee as well as a top 100 MLB draft prospect. After going through the draft experience, that was not convincing enough for Milam to go pro, so he made the decision to head to LSU. Milam was committed to playing at LSU since he was a sophomore in high school. To be playing for one of the best programs in the country was a lifelong dream that he is now living out. The dream continues to get better and better for Milam as he is having tons of success on the diamond as a true freshman. One of the biggest highlights of his season came in the SEC tournament semifinal game last Saturday. Milam hit a 2-run homer walk-off in the bottom of the 10th to lead LSU past South Carolina and into the tournament's championship game, a memory of a lifetime for the Las Cruces native.
I know I hit it good, I just didn't know if I hit it that good. Like I know I probably got it in the gap, but I didn't know if I hit it out, and it just kept going, and that's when that was probably the coolest moment of my life. Everything, my phone was blowing up. Called my mom, called my dad. She said she almost wrecked while she was driving home. My dad was like, I can't believe you just did that. You know, I mean, the fact that I was able to do that in my dream school, it still gives me chills right now.
Tune in tonight at 10 where we will have that full story on Milam and his time in Baton Rouge. Former Aggie and current mentor to Milam, Nick Gonzalez, sends one flying out of the stadium earlier today against Detroit at 102-mile-per-hour exit velocity. This is the second baseman's fourth solo home run this year since getting called up to the majors in early May, putting up a .313 batting average since then, along with 20 hits and 10 runs. Pittsburgh gets it done today, taking down the Tigers 10-2. Chihuahuas are also hoping to cap off the night with a win after dropping its series opener on the road against Round Rock yesterday. Tough past couple of series for them, looking to get back on track. Score currently is 0-0, bottom of the first. We'll have those highlights as well tonight at 10. And Hoopin' with the Huskies is back at Chapin High School for its second annual basketball camp, hosted by none other than the current Wildcat star guard KJ Lewis. The former Husky hosted last year's camp and will be back in El Paso to join the two-day camp once more on June 27th and 28th. Sessions will run for 2 hours each, broken down by ages for the youth athletes between 3rd and 8th grade. Registration is currently open and will close the day before on the 26th. And that'll be your look at sports here at 6 p.m. Let's send things back over to Monica and Andy, who are in downtown El Paso for today's Small Town Spotlight. Guys.
Hey there, Kelly. Thank you very much for that. That's right. We're live here at the Abraham Chavez Theatre. We've learned so much and highlighted so much here, including the El Paso Symphony Orchestra. Had a lot of fun, and we're only halfway through. We got another half hour.
Can you believe it? We still have a lot more surprises for you coming up in our next half hour, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break. KTSM 9 News at 6 is live on location today as we continue with our Small Town Spotlight series. We're coming to you live from the Abraham Chavez Theatre, and it's all made possible by Charlie Clark Nissan.
And we have covered so much here in the early going, the first 30 minutes of this show. The goal of Small Town Spotlight is to highlight some of the important communities that we have here in the borderland. The El Paso Symphony Orchestra is certainly no different, the same way the Abraham Chavez Theatre and all the acts, performances that we see here, absolutely no different. And something really cool in an aspect of the Symphony Orchestra is the youth programs that they have. Certainly, I mentioned it at the top of the newscast. It's a really important component of what they do here at the Abraham Chavez Theatre.
Yeah, and I think what's so unique about it is that they work with all of the districts in our city. So every student has the opportunity to be part of this incredible organization. Just check it out for yourself.
So the El Paso Symphony Youth Orchestra is the largest extracurricular orchestral music program in El Paso. It's a subsidiary of the El Paso Symphony Orchestra, and we also have a third organization, Tocando.
Our youth symphony is about 15 years old now, and is really unique in the fact that pretty much every senior that goes through our program ends up going to college, which that was not always the case before. And it may not be a music college, but they go to college. And I think it's been a real asset, and also it adds more depth to our symphony culture in El Paso.
The El Paso Symphony Youth Orchestras are just an extension of teaching music in a school, so it's all the same challenges.
And the youth symphony, just like everything else, it's dependent on donations, grants, funding, and there's all types of kids in the youth symphony. Some families are able to pay the tuition, some we give scholarships for. So it's a constant in-motion fundraising.
We accept all applicants under the age of 23 as long as they have some experience. And we work directly with all of the area schools. We don't compete with them, we serve them. So some of our youngest students are 5, 6 years old even, if they have some playing experience, and we have some college undergrads as well. We're a nonprofit organization, and long story short, what that means is we have to break even every year financially. We're not there to make money, we're simply there to make enough so we can operate year by year. We accept donations, we accept various forms of scholarship support. We sponsor individual students with chairs, just like the El Paso Symphony Orchestra does. And to be quite honest, just enrollment helps us get by.
Wow, what incredible I don't know, I'm a loss of words.
Yeah.
It's just such a beautiful program, and I love the fact that they set them up for a beautiful future in terms of college.
Yeah, anyone under 23 can apply. Financial status doesn't matter, so that's one factor of it. And their goal to inspire the future musicians. And I think that that is what is really, really cool about this program and inspiring them. We talked about mentors in our last half hour. That's what they get out of some of these programs. So really, really cool to see. I will say the future looks, or should I say, sounds very, very bright.
And you know what else was kind of bright today?
Yeah.
Our weather.
One of those days.
It was beautiful today, a lot less windier than it was yesterday, but for that, let's go ahead and send it over to our chief meteorologist, Robert Bettis. Hey there, Robert. What is going on over there?
Well, Andy and Monica, I'm still very hurt about getting booed in the newsroom when I said that it was going to make it to about 106 next Thursday, but I love y'all. I forgive you. I'd boo me too. You know what I mean? Navina Christie owns Rocket Buster Boots, and I have had quite an education over the last couple of hours about the extent of the world fame of your boots that you have created right here in El Paso. For example, I don't know if you can see the inscription up here. Who signed that, Navina?
Roy Rogers and Trigger, who has amazing penmanship.
Boy, his horse Trigger, really good. Just one of the examples. And if we look closely, I'll show these two boots because we're going to get a little lesson in a good boot and a manufactured boot. Which boot is older? Well, obviously this one is, but how much older?
A lot older. This boot's over 100 years old. And it's made in the tradition of classic handmade cowboy boots.
Okay, we're going to teach you what to look for and why these boots are so valuable. Yes, the winds are going to get a little bit stronger tomorrow. Yes, we're talking extreme heat. Oh, I know. See? It's hostility. I'm going to have your 9-day forecast coming up in just a little bit. Monica, Andy, don't be booing.
Robert's absolutely right. He comes into the newsroom with his shades on, and he's like, yep, it's going to be 106 next week.
It.
And
but you know what?
Everyone broke out and booed this man. Get out of here.
I heard the boo, and I was talking to my news director, and he even goes, what are they booing at? I was like,
what's going on out there?
I don't know.
Just booing Robert.
Oh, okay.
We still have a lot more to get to on this edition of Small Town Spotlights.
We'll be right back.
Robert Bettis, the Borderlands' only certified broadcast meteorologist.
Another example, look at this. I've got lightning bolts. If I want a weather-related boot, I can have it. I love flowers. Everybody knows I love to sniff flowers. Look at that, the sunflower boot. Joining me is the genius behind every single boot. She has not given away the job of design to anybody. So we're talking 10,000 custom boots from Rocket Buster Boots by this woman right here, Navina Christie.
I'm blushing.
Yes. Okay, we're going to talk weather. If you have, are there any concerns you have, any weather patterns you don't like?
Wind. I told you.
Okay, wind.
You got to stop that.
All right. Well, I'm going to do the 9-day forecast, and then you can feel free to boo in the middle of the, on behalf of the audience. Here comes your exclusive 9-day forecast. All right, tomorrow, unfortunately, the winds are going to be stronger.
Boo.
You can do better than that. You can let it out.
Boo.
Yeah, okay, all right. High temperature tomorrow, 97 degrees. 99 on Friday, 100 and windy on Saturday. Stronger wind. Yeah, I know. 99 on Sunday, also windy, moderately so. Then the winds start to pull back a little bit as we cruise into our final part of the 9-day forecast. Unfortunately, high pressure builds up, and we are facing some extreme heat toward the middle of next week. By Wednesday, 105. By Thursday, 106. And by Friday, 104.
Cha-ching.
You don't mind the heat?
The electric bill.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. There's your forecast. I'll be watching those days very closely. Let's talk. When you sit down with a jeweler, you get taught about a diamond. And boots are like diamonds. So walk us through how yours are special. How do you do it?
Okay. Well, this boot is over 100 years old. It is. 1923. So you want to look down here. You want to see the amount of dots. And you want to, these are made out of lemon wood. And lemonwood pegs, you walk in water, the leather expands, a nail falls out. Lemonwood swells with the leather, holds the sole together tighter. Cowboys only had one pair of boots like their whole life. So we're making heirlooms of the future.
So on your boots, it's a similar tried and true formula. This is not manufactured. This is just
by
layers.
Hand,
This
through
is
a
by
quarter
hand.
inch of leather. So even easier to see on a light colored one. Those little dots are all lemonwood pegs, over 100 in each boot, and a hand stacked leather heel and a hand carved leather toe box. A lot of people put plastic in the toe, preformed plastic pieces. This is all leather. That way we can carve it, so if you have a big bunion or you've got a bump, we make it fit the customer's foot.
And of course, you literally sketch out whatever a person wants. So the world famous celebrities that come find you, they get
and regular people.
And regular people too.
And mermaids.
And business class lawyer boots too. It's not just
all
sunflowers
sorts
and
of people.
lightning bolts. Navita, thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your emotion on the 9-day forecast. Oh.
No more wind.
Stay. Good luck. Stay with KTSM 9 News.
Welcome back, everyone. So we have this really cool thing that we want to highlight, and we're actually joined by Tocando Music Project Director Jessie O'Hara Maestas. Thank you so much for being here. We're excited to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here to talk about all the great work we do in Tocando.
Yeah, it's a program for after-school program that obviously provides music and learning performing opportunities for elementary and middle school kids. Tell us a little bit about the Tocando Music Project and I guess maybe your mission behind this.
Yeah, a lot has been said tonight about talent, and that's so wonderful. But I think that the heart of Tocando is really embracing the effort and energy that it takes to become a great person and also a great musician, because those really go hand in hand for us. We have third graders as our youngest group, all the way up through high school, actually. This last year we've had our first high school student. And the idea is that through collaborative work of an orchestra, through those 6 hours every single week that they spend with us at the end of the day, they're learning how to really delve into the best of their humanity and become people who are responsible for each other, responsive to their community, and develop a really great sense of artistry.
Wow, I love that. That is so cool. I feel like it's a little family that you guys develop, more or less.
Absolutely. And we have a team of amazing teachers who are all really like my best friends. I feel so lucky. And they really care about these young musicians.
And you know, talking a little bit about that, you offer lessons including piano and choir. Tell us more about that.
So right now we're focused on something we call musicianship, which is general music. That's like xylophones, drums, singing, and strings. We've had some piano tech in the past, and that's a great way for them to get into composition, which is of course an awesome way to learn about math and literacy and communication, all of those things.
You mentioned that 2013 started with 30 students. You've come a long way since then. I know you've expanded all the way out as far as Tornillo. Wow. How were you able to accomplish all that in such a short amount of time? We think of 2013, I mean, that's not that long of a period of time.
No. It is not. We have a team of really, really hardworking teachers, as I said, who really give it their all. We follow curriculum based on our students' needs so that every student, whether they started 4 weeks before the concert or 4 years before the concert, or at this point, 7 years before the concert, gets to play every concert, and they feel a sense of success as quickly as possible, and that's how we kind of keep them in. And they do have that sense of family, I think, Monica, and that keeps them coming back to build on this program to create a place of, you know, a sense of self and a sense of community for them.
Oh man, I wish I had something like this when I was in school.
I know.
I was a musician too. I wasn't really good, but I love it, and I can tell how much hard work goes into it. Anything else you want to add?
Absolutely. I'm so proud of what we've been able to do this last year, building out our concert series to include concerts at, of course, the Chavez, the Plaza, our community concerts in our schools, concerts in Socorro, and even concerts at the El Paso Zoo. So you're going to see us all over the place.
Oh, looking forward to it.
Jessie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
One of the longtime students of the Tocando music program is now part of the Ecuador crew and is actually getting ready to spend some time in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, that's right. We want to show you this incredible story. Check it out.
My name is Daniel Moreno, and I'm in 9th grade over at Bowie High School, and I'm in the Tocando program here in Guillen. I liked it because it was a nice little after-school thing, and I wasn't really doing much as a kid back then. But after a while, I started to want to learn more.
We have this student that is like a little more advanced than all of the others, and that happened to be Daniel, and I started working with him.
I've been in it since 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and now. I was supposed to leave at 8th grade, but I'm here working now.
Now he's heading to this festival, which is all classical music, big orchestra, the biggest orchestra that he's ever been a part of. Festival is called the Ravinia Seminario. It's very competitive, and it's not only because it's students from all around the country and different countries. I think there's students from Sweden, from Canada. He's gonna be able to sit in a big, big orchestra of 130 people, if I'm not mistaken. And he's gonna be working with one of the premier conductors in the United States right now.
I like music a lot. I probably will try doing a career of it.
We in Tocando Music Project believe that every young person deserves a chance to learn music.
The program has also helped me create memories with my kids. I've seen them play it in the El Paso Zoo, I've seen them play it in the plaza.
I hope and I trust that the community in El Paso sees the value behind these programs and the work that we put into them, and really support them to see their own children having all of these awesome opportunities, because we are worth of them and we deserve them.
And our thanks to Carla Draxler for that incredible story. We still have a lot more to share with you right after this break.
Yeah, stay with us. You're watching KTSM 9 News, Small Town Spotlight.
A last look at your forecast, and yes, lots of booing possible on this one. 97 our high tomorrow, and windy, 99 on Friday. Back up for another pass at 100 on a windy.
Yeah,
yeah, there it is. That's how I felt today. But save the big boos for the high pressure that builds up Wednesday 105, Thursday 106, I know, and finally 104 on Friday. I know. And with at least
that is so funny.
At least there's a slight chance of storms Thursday, Friday, so maybe
man,
we could cool off.
106. I can't believe it.
Oh,
Glass half full.
Robert, what happened?
It's called June, and it came upon us. I know.
It is the hottest month of the year. Yeah,
this year is flying. Right? I know. What is this, like our 12th Small Town Spotlight already? It's incredible. And what a wonderful show today. What an experience, and so many gems in our beautiful city.
I know, and we got blessed with such beautiful music from live musicians.
Big thank you to the El Paso Symphony Orchestra as well as the Abraham Chavez Theatre. We'll see you next week for Small Town Spotlight.